All right, so I think we're live. Hi, everybody. This is a little crazy. Do we audio look good? Our levels are fine. All right, so we're adjusting our audio. If you joined, you probably I don't even know if people saw the tweet. It like just went out. The If you're subscribed on YouTube, you probably got the push notification there. So keep that up. Subscribe more. We are. This is a little crazy. I don't know if y'all can see this. It probably won't really work, but we are at the beach. And if I do this, I think you won't see me at all, but you might be able to see the ocean because we've been at the beach. So we took like a good chunk, almost over half the company spent a good chunk of the week here in Florida at a beach house. We were doing a bunch of kind of long-term planning and discussions about major features and a whole bunch of other stuff. So let me put this back down so you can actually see the faces because so the good news is we've got a bunch of people from Vector 35 here. So if you guys have questions, I'm going to tell you who's in the room, and you can tell me who to bring on camera, and we'll do a bunch of Q&A. So as people try to hide, but I already know that they were here. So we've got Raphael, who's just finishing up. This is the very end of his summer internship. Raphael worked on this summer some of the unit tests for a little bit. He's been working on one of our researchy projects that's doing like kind of algorithm recovery. What else? What did you work on earlier this summer? I'm telling you the topics so people can interview you. Yeah, and before that, what else did you work on?
Some issues.
Just some issues, some bugs. What? Do you have a favorite one that you worked on that was good?
I feel good, but I don't know which one I prefer.
Yeah. All right. Well, if you think of one, let me know. Or you guys can just go look in GitHub and see which issues he closed from his account. John, our resident font and UI nerd, is here. If you guys, so I should describe some of the topics that we've kind of been brainstorming about this week. So what do? We did UI. So we had like a nice long discussion about the UI. We talked about the debugger, which was really cool because Shusheng, who unfortunately isn't here in person, but he dialed in and gave a presentation, just talking about the state of the debugger and all that's happening. And we kind of talked a lot about, in fact, actually, one of the things that's changed is the debugger icons. I don't know if that build actually went out or not, but it might have. That might be live, actually. I think I pushed last night. Oh, you know what? I can test it. I think this is it. Oh, yeah, it is. Right here. So look at that. Good thing I put the desktop up. So if you're on... oh, wait, no, that's even later than that one, but this will work. If you're on the 3580 or above, or 3581 or above, you'll get some improved icons for the debugger because the colors were just really kind of off. So you'll notice like the debugger used to just always be gray. It never like highlighted like it does now. So that kind of got fixed. And then if you've opened a file for debugging, what is an actual executable here? It's not signed. Let's see. CD dev. Yeah. Do I have a hello world.c? Yeah, there we go. No, I don't. It's got to be hello. There we go. All right. So hello Mako. There we go. So this is also a little bit different because usually I'm streaming from like a machine I have set up just for streaming. This is just my desktop. So hopefully I cleaned it up enough. If you ever get a presentation where you take all the files on your desktop and you just put them into a folder called like old desktop, yeah, I made it, and it's. Did I hide that one too? Yeah, there it is, right here. So here's old desktop, which has like way too many files and screenshots and whatnot. So if I open up dev and I go to dev hello world. And I look for hello world Marco. So I can debug this. So this should, let's see if I go to the debugger. Oh yes, those icons. Okay, so they look much better, much more crisp. Although one of the things we actually discussed during our during the offsite was these icons themselves don't thematically match, and even some of these on the left side maybe are slightly different line weights or colors or whatnot, and so we're going to try to kind of make them a little bit more consistent. That's one of the things that we're working on, but these are at least a lot more visible now. So that was a little thing that changed. Oh, we have a question for John. John, you've been summoned. You have a question. Come join me on air. Actually, hold on. Let's go to Facecam. and it probably won't work right. So you probably have to add a new input source, and you could add, that's fine.
What is
Be
up?
the intern doing this.
Yes, we've got my unpaid intern. My daughter is running the stream. So here's your mic.
What's up?
All right, so we got to get our face cam. So click the plus in the bottom, and you want
This is
video
weird.
capture at the bottom. Video capture device, and you'll be able to select existing. Click the checkbox first, and then, and then do Opal, and then make that full screen. Oh, there we go. We're already good. Okay, see?
I can't see the question. This is not the normal setup.
You're going to get read the question.
Okay.
Yeah. So this is from Robert Yates,
Robert Yates, welcome.
asking about your least favorite font.
Ooh. Least favorite font? I mean, but there's got to be so many.
There's a couple candidates. Arial is budget Helvetica, and
But is that all it takes to be least favorite?
now there's some other problems with it, but like
Okay.
It's Comic Sans better.
no, Comic Sans is
Objectively worse.
no, but it does what it's supposed to. It's not supposed to be a.
It's supposed to offend everyone that
it's
wants to
supposed
take
to
it
be a wacky
seriously.
font. It's supposed to be a
It's not
wacky
supposed
font. It is a wacky font.
The wacky font. All right, so Arial. Arial's like the sort of like one of the least favorite.
I don't really have a least favorite font. That's just one that I can bag on
Easily
at any time.
throw under the bus.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Thanks for Robert for dragging John in. I forgot I didn't do the rest of our list. But the other folks that are here, we've got Andrew who's here. We've got Glenn who's here. So if you got any questions about the Clang type parser that Glenn was working on, we've got Josh who's here. So if you've got questions about cloud, and in fact, Glenn and Josh are also the two main people behind Dogbolt. I don't think I've shown Dogbolt on stream, have I? Because it's only been
Everyone's under the bus.
been
today.
out that. Oh yeah, man, I gotta listen. If I'm gonna suffer through this, I'm gonna make everybody else join me to it. So let's go back to desktop. No, suffer through like being on stream and having to answer questions. But, all right.
There are other,
Thank you.
Which other font emergencies? Let me know.
Font emergencies, you'll be back. Thanks, Robert, for the
Or
question.
actual UI questions.
And there are many actual questions.
There's a question for Peter. That he sent.
A question for Peter. Peter's not here. I can channel my best Peter. What's the question for Peter? But yeah, so unfortunately, Peter wasn't able to make it this week. He's back home with his family. So
This was also from Robert, and it just says components view.
components view. Oh, you know what? Let's see. Who's been working on components view though? Actually, you were working on. John also can answer about components view. Come on back. So Kat, who's one of our other summer interns, has been working on the API side of components view. And so, but you've been helping him with the UI for
doing
it,
the UI.
right? So like, actually, I haven't even seen it. So is it on a test branch or is it just like kind of? Should I pull the test branch and do it live? No, I should not. All right. I know. I get in trouble. for
It's
doing
on
that
a
live.
test branch to make sure that it builds. It's not
Ready for consumption.
for consumption. And I'm pretty sure Kat said that she was going to refactor a large portion of the API. Or I mean, you could use the old build.
Do we want to explain what components are first? Like, I guess Robert knows about it. He's been getting the inside scoop. But
Yeah, components are meant to be like a way of organizing stuff in your binary outside of just grouping, item user you can group functions and stuff into folders. Components also includes stuff like data variables and types. The analogy we've kind of thrown around internally is a component should be somewhat analogous to a compilation unit
Sure.
or a source file, maybe.
and kind of, in fact, that's one of the uses that we might use. One of the things we might do to make use of it, right? So if you've got dwarf information and you know the original source files, you actually know which, maybe variables or structures, types, and functions all lived in the same source file.
Yeah.
So we could organize your view that way too. You'd have like a
So it would be a
tree structure, I assume, or what's
It would
the?
be a tree structure. You can put components underneath components. So the options for organizing are relatively flexible, and it's a tree-like UI in the sidebar that will let you navigate between types and data variables and functions as you have grouped them to your liking,
and this also,
or grouped from an external data source like Dwarf if you have a plugin that does that. It's basically an organizational tool.
and it's kind of like a precursor, right, for some of the, like, we've been calling it container support, I think. Like, because we have the idea of, eventually we want to be able to do things like open up this firmware image or open up this, APK that actually has several binaries or things inside of it. And you want to be able to, like, have this hierarchical structure. So this is sort of like, I guess, the beginning
This is new
of that.
That part is new information to me.
It's
but
I think we're prototyping some of the design ideas and some of the
Yeah,
concepts of it.
in general, it lets you group things, and you can have groups inside of groups. So
That lets you do
there
trees
there
and
are
nesting.
there are possibilities.
All right, so components view. Be on the lookout for that. Is that actually? So I think we've got.
I think it's called function folders, something on GitHub. It's not. I don't know if it's called components view.
We've been calling it. So let's go back to desktop. Thank you. Yeah, I figured you got it. You knew to switch over. So folder. Oh yeah, it has components.
No,
Okay.
I put components in the title, so it was
Good.
findable.
And it is tagged for 3.2, right? So it's
Yep.
underway and maybe out as early as a month or two whenever I think the exact
Yep, there's
release
bits,
date for 3.2. No due date. Never mind. We don't have a due date. Whenever.
It's when it's done, it's done.
Yeah.
Components. The UI is I'm mostly blocking on the UI right now. I think so. When we get back from vacation land,
We've been working hard. We have been working hard.
Yes,
Right?
just-
Like it's work hard, play hard.
not committing code, but other work.
I think we had like anywhere from like 4 to 6 hours of meetings every day.
Yes, 6 hours of meetings every day on average. But the UI is mostly what's holding it up right now, so that's my fault. I think Kat has been done with the underlying API for a bit, and I've kind of been dragging my feet and on a couple other things in addition to components. But when I get back next week, goal is probably going to be to finish up components before I have to leave Melbourne for the summer. So
Yep. Heading back to school.
they won't let me leave.
Not until the work is done. No. You can leave anytime. As long as you work remotely.
No, I mean school won't.
Oh, school unless you leave. Yeah, they're kind of picky like that. Minimum credit hours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not a good deal.
All right. Well, thank you for coming back in for components. So there we go. Any other questions that have landed?
If there are more UI questions, I shall return.
See, listen, when he promises stuff like that, like that's why we're gonna take him up on it. So, all right, thanks, John. Appreciate it.
Later.
And no other questions in chat. So let me see who else. Oh right, we were talking about Dog Bolt. We can go back to that. All right, so Dog Bolt. I'm curious. Actually, how many people do we have in stream right now? We have 7 people in stream. How of the people in stream? How many of you have seen Dog Bolt or Decompiler Explorer? Because it got us a fair amount of Twitter traffic, which is pretty cool. But the idea, if you're familiar with Godbolt, where you would put in a bunch of source code and get it compiled by several different compilers, all those different settings, and look at the disassembly, and it's a fantastic, useful reference. And a number of folks have kind of been working on similar prototypes here. So Matt's, I'm gonna get your last name wrong. I apologize. Matt Borgenson wrote up something similar to this, and he was. Does that mean there's a question? Oh, you just. Oh, okay, yeah, that's fine. I get you. Okay, I'm getting my off-camera cues. Yeah, we kind of threw this together a little bit late, so we were like.
The teenagers.
That's why a teenager's running the stream. No, I mean, I would think a teenager would be the best at running a stream because you're like, you grew up with Twitch. All right. So Matt published something called MDEC, and we had actually at Vector 35, Glenn had worked on it on getting something running internally, which was actually based on a few other projects that people had kind of thrown together. And the idea was one of the versions you would put in source code, it would compile the source code, and then it would disassemble or decompile the source code using a bunch of different tools. The current version that's here now just lets you upload a binary. So you can upload your binary. Actually, you know what? Let's do my dev hello world, not Mako, or not Go, the Mako. So yeah, here's actually a good example. Let's upload this binary. Oh, look, you don't even have to click upload. I made that small change. And you'll see, oh yeah, Angular's much faster now. They've been pushing some fixes. So, like a lot of that was probably startup time in terms of the total decompilation was pretty straightforward between Angular, Benja, and Hexrace. Ghidra is just much slower. We really need to architect. So Ghidra, a lot of the slowness is just JVM startup, right? You pay a huge cost just to load the JVM. It's not clear, if you had a JVM up and running in some sort of client server architecture, how long Ghidra would take to decompile. It would presumably be much less. But the problem with that, though, is that right now, it's very intentional that these are all separate Docker instances, and they're kind of clean every time you launch it, so that if somebody actually has a bug or an exploit for one of these. Persistence is a little bit harder because it's going to immediately bring it up and kill it. Docker is not a security boundary, but is better than. Oh, there's Ghidra. Ghidra just finished. Docker is not a security boundary, but it is better than nothing. So although that is why there's there's an issue. Isn't there an issue for maybe moving away from Docker, or is it just something we've talked about?
I think the name of the issue is deal with the eventuality of being popped.
Yeah, deal with the eventuality of being popped. So actually, this is a good point. You can actually click the link on the bottom of the page, and you can actually run your own instance of Decompiler Explorer. So the actual platform itself is open source. We did go with MIT license on it. And the only caveats are you need to run Hexrays and run Binary Ninja. Obviously, you need a license. So thanks to Ilfac from Hexrays, because they when Matt originally tweeted about MDEC, someone said, "Oh, that's neat, but you've got to have your own license. It'd be cool if this was a public service." And Ilfac was actually like, "I would consider that. That's a good idea." And so I reached out to both Matt and Ilfac, and I said, "Hey, we've also been thinking about something similar. I was excited that that y'all are interested. We would also be one to throw in some hosting and some dev time and a license." And so we've kind of all been working together to pull this out. So you can read more about it on the blog, where there's a write-up that Alex put together with and that's the old screenshot. You can tell because originally we just used a Binja dump to HTML, which already had the theming kind of built in, so it stood out. But that was a little unfair when we're trying to make this more of an agnostic, neutral kind of service. Do we need to something going on? Oh, it's a door. All right, we may have some slight movement of our backdrop here. Yeah, this was an old version, in this particular screenshot. But you can see you turn on all of these things, even if they were recently on stream or anything. I'm not allowed to say who they are. But I think it's because they refuse to take credit for it. But I think the logo is amazing. There's two versions. There was one that had two lightning bolts for the eyes, and then we called it the joke was it's the chosen one. It's the Harry Potter one. But I love the actual logo. So yeah, there's definitely some. It would be nice to have a better UI to be able to switch and kind of lay these out differently to kind of switch between them. Because obviously, if you turn on everything, it's just pretty awful. Boomerang, I think, dies on anything that's not a 32-bit PE, maybe. Or there's some limitations for some of the decompilers in terms of which platforms they can handle. So, but it's a useful resource. Thanks very much to Glenn and Josh for their hard work. You can check the commit history and you can see they've been working really hard to add features and to get that working. Do we have a question?
No, some people are saying the stream's frozen.
The stream is frozen. Oh no.
Sorry, we'll try to get this up and running.
Let's see. Let me see. Well, it could be. Can they still hear me, or is it? Oh no! Hold on.
I'm not sure what's going on. Oh, okay.
Oh, is it back? Okay. We are running on Wi-Fi at a beach house rental, so it is certainly questionable. Okay, so we audible again. People can hear me. So yeah, let us know if we're coming through or not. So okay, so we've got the folks behind the Decompiler Explorer here. If you have questions about that, Andrew, we need to get on stream to show off some of his stuff. He's been working on some a cool project that I think is going to be really neat. We should be demoing it sometime soon. So we'll do that at some point. But yeah, we've had a good time this week. So the other topics are, I guess, first let's look for issues closed this week.
So basically, it cut out all the secret info
It
about
cut
the
out
logo.
the secret info about the logo. Oh, that's unfortunate. What secret info?
No.
I definitely didn't out whoever made the logo. I wouldn't have done that, and there's no stream to prove it. So, but it is a great logo. All right. So if we look for our closed issues, let's actually just look at the last couple of issues. Oh, there was an API that was removed that was still left in the docs. That's gone. Brian, this is one Brian fixed, I believe. There was a UI hang, a couple other from Brian. You'll notice that most of these fixes are from people who are not at the offsite because they were back at the at home or at the office still kind of working. So Brian's closed a number of these. I think this is just duplicates. This one, I think this was close to a won't fix, right? Yeah, that's my fault for not actually marking that as a won't fix to show it there. Oh, that was the one little change that I actually made in the plugin manager. So I think it was Marcus Gastelum was pointing out that the plugin manager it had this kind of annoying. You had the enable button and you had the install button, and so like you would you go to a plugin and like if you hadn't installed the type manager before, you would have enable and install, and if you clicked installed, it would just download it, and then you had to click enable separately to actually enable the plugin. And so just a small change to basically make one button. So if the plugin is not currently installed, one button clicks will both download and install it and enable it. And once it's installed, like for example, I have the BD viewer and there's a new version, then you have more nuance. You can update it, disable it, uninstall it. Yeah, you get a little more flexibility there. I'm trying to think there's other major. Yeah, so URL handling, a few other suggestions. Yeah, so I think not a whole lot the last couple of weeks kind of before that in terms of major changes. So back to this. Yeah, you can tell I've got the debugger plugin installed. If you haven't given that a try, I was pretty impressed. What was the debugger feature that we all like none of us knew about that Shusheng had done? Well, we used Binja to debug Binja, but that wasn't the one. There was one feature he showed off. He's like, "Oh yeah, check out this feature."
Oh yeah.
That's right. Okay, yeah. So the thing to try in actually, let me see if I can do this. So let's open this Mako. Let's run it in the debugger. Oh, good. Go back to Facecam because this is like an actual password I care about. So let me know when I'm not on stream. All right. I actually don't want that even password length. All right, we're good. We can come back. Like I said, it's the downside of using my like main machine to stream from today. So okay, so I'm at an initial breakpoint. I think I can run again. Let's see. I'm trying to remember if I continue. I've already connected. Pause. Resume. So I think I can resume. Oh, exited. Nope. That one, the initial breakpoint is at main. Okay, so we're gonna run it. We're at the initial. Oh, right. So we're here at start. Okay. So now what we can do is we can pull up the stack pointer. I think this is one of the features that we're requesting. Is it would be great if you could like double click that or get to that easily. Okay. So there's no. Let me see here. Let's set a breakpoint here. Let's try that. All right. So no, it was in here. Hold on. It goes under. So this is also another thing that's changed in the debugger. Right now, it's under plugins debugger. The latest dev builds that Shusheng is working with, debugger is a higher level thing, so you don't have to do this here. So I can actually toggle a breakpoint, and shows up my breakpoint list, and now I can resume. I should hit that breakpoint, and I think now if I go to the stack, there we go. Yeah. So you actually get stack frames at the like virtual memory where it's annotated, right? So that was kind of a neat feature that Shusheng had implemented that most of us actually hadn't seen until he was showing it off, which was pretty cool. So the other thing about this too is that this lets you apply like any type information you've got, like with Binja's kind of type decomposition view, the structure or an enum or whatever it is. You can just select some random piece of virtual memory and apply the type structure there and get it all like decoded. So that's actually pretty nifty. The Python one could do that as well. It didn't do the stack frame creation automatically, even like save registers and stuff, which is pretty nifty. So that's a nice view there, which is a little different than like this static stack view, right? So this stack view is specifically in a binary that's not running. What is just the local frame going to look like? But this is actually like the live running memory. So that was fun.
Okay, so we do have a question.
We have a
It's
question.
Not for anyone in particular.
All right. So I can ask anybody I wanted to come answer it, or maybe I'll answer it if I'm feeling nice.
Yeah, if they're like.
Oh, can y'all hear Jody on stream? I'm just
Yeah.
wondering when I'm talking, is she audible? All right.
But from username, will there be an auto update or an update notification for the plugins?
That's a fantastic question. Actually, this is a good one to bring back John on stream, but he's in the middle of a Smash game, so it's fine.
I'm not getting beat.
No, No, I'm not I'm trying to distract you.
No, what?
I hope they can hear that.
You both.
Oh, you just okay. Listen, you needed that pressure. You needed that pressure. It made you do it. That was good. See, now listen.
Truly embarrassing moment for Andrew. I said so myself.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, good. All right, what's up?
All right, so here's the question. I thought this was a great question. The question was, if I've got a plugin installed and there's like an update for it, the only way to know right now is you go to the plugin manager, you scroll through a bunch, you see like updates available. It's available. What kind of things might we be thinking of to improve that situation for people?
So we've been thinking about making the new tab page better for a while. I have numerous mock-ups that we've looked over internally, and I think the primary thing that we've been blocking on is me actually being satisfied with them. But there's numerous mock-ups of the new tab page internally, which has been a separate issue we wanted to improve.
Yeah, so like just
For
I'll show it
reference.
here, right? Like if I pull up the new tab, this is not great for lots of reasons.
Yeah, as we can see,
So-
there's
To be fair, I do have the like show me the really long recent list. Like there's actually a setting you can change.
I think you also do you have any enterprise files open in there? Is that why it's so pushed to the side?
No. Well, at least I didn't. Maybe I did in the longer one.
Um,
Why is that so wide there? Yeah, I don't know.
Anywho, there's significant room for improvement here. And one of the things we were talking about is in addition to just redesigning the actual layout and appearance of this with no change in information, we were also thinking about things we could put on the new tab page. Having a indicator that your plugins are available to update on
Yeah.
the new tab page. or
And
just-
in plugins available for update, and then like you click there and it just takes you straight to the plugin manager.
Yeah, in general, plugin updates being available is a great example of something that satisfies this. In general, we wanted to think about how we can communicate some more relevant information or reminders on the new tab page. So there's an update available, plugin updates available. Oh, one of your plugins failed to load. Maybe you want to look into that. So yeah, there's definitely room for improvement in conveying plugin updates because right now it's kind of on you to just remember to look
Yep.
into it.
Yep. So thank you. I know that's a good question, and we agree. We're thinking about it.
Who asked that?
Unknown, right? Or username. Username here.
That's a good name.
Yeah, it's a username.
And I read the chat. You misread one of the questions earlier. This is my latest
I?
favorite font. Not my
Oh,
least
latest
font.
favorite font. Okay. So I would
So-
like to blame my assistant for that. But so what is your latest
Classic.
favorite
Throw your
font?
kids under the bus. Yeah.
Listen. They don't pull their weight.
Latest favorite font. Berkeley Mono is pretty cool. I picked that one up recently, and I've been using that for code. And then everything that Mass Driver as a company is doing is really neat. They have a bunch of cool fonts.
Mass Driver.
Yeah,
font.
they have a bunch of cool fonts that I use
Quite the
for
name for.
all my stuff.
Wait, hold on. They've got to be artists. A workhorse grotesque for general practice.
Fonts are art. What do you mean they're artists?
No, but like a workhorse grotesque for general practice. And
Yeah.
what is this? What
It's a
is
variable font.
What is this? All right. To the other room where you can go smash. All right.
If Andrew's ready again.
Are you gonna do another beat down? All right. So good questions. Thanks everybody. All right. I think. Okay, so I think that gets us issues. That gets us Q&A. If you think of other questions you have, definitely let us know. We'll bring people in and talk more. Let me know if the background noise gets too loud too. Like I think we've got like the close enough mic that hopefully it's not too bad. But what? Did you just spill ice cream on the laptop? Oh, okay, good. It's totally fine. This is a very professional operation we're running here. This is not crazy at all. All right. So the other thing that I was thinking about doing today is we actually talked about what plugin was it? There was a plugin that I was thinking about running, and now I'm trying to remember what it was. What's that? I don't remember. There was so BD Viewer got updated. I mean, there's been a couple different ones we talked about, but there was one that was like, oh, that's a good one for stream.
Yeah, like write the plugin part and then write the.
Oh, I know what. Well, one of them was like, so I need to look at Ripper. If you can run a function in Ripper, I want to be able to like automate this is a decryption function. So yeah, so one of the things that we were thinking about doing is, first let's actually talk about Ripper, because I don't think Ripper's been around since I have streamed. And let's see if I can even enable this. I don't even know if this is supposed to work on macOS. It doesn't claim support. Also, it has this not running a Rodare message that I need to finish my pull request to fix. But I think... Okay, so Ripper ran. It might even work. Let's look at this. Let's see. Here's a flare on challenge. So the idea behind Ripper. Let's pull up the plugin manager. Ripper from Patrick over at Ret2 is a plugin that uses Unicorn engine to emulate a function. So you can just take like a little bit of code and be like, please run this. Here's some binary. Emulate the rest of it. And this is really useful. Like if you've got a piece of like malware or a binary and you don't really want to reverse everything it does, but it is a pure function, or it's a function that doesn't have pure is not maybe technically the right word. I think there's another slight nuance between a true pure function and like, but it's a function that doesn't have any other side effects except for like its return or like writing over the pointer that was passed in, right? So it doesn't rely on like other global state that might not be set. In other words, it's really easy just to emulate on its own. And so one of the things that we were talking a lot about during this week was if we've got malware analysis, one of the really common tasks is you want to be able to deobfuscate a stack string, or you've got like a stack string that's created and then it's passed into some deobfuscation function and then it's returned a couple times and maybe that gets used. And that generally is really amenable to something like an emulator, right? And I know there's already a number of existing tools that will do that either through emulation or through some kind of static analysis. In fact, I think I saw Floss just got updated to a new version real recently, right? It was just like I want to say like just this week or like maybe there we go, June 21st, 2.0. So they just had a new release of that, which is another similar kind of tool that does this. This is actually another kind of plugin that I wanna look at writing because I noticed. Oh, this is one of the plugins I want to do. So this one here, they've got a Bincha import script. And I think we could do much better than this. What this script basically does is, so you take a suspicious binary, you run Floss on it, and then I think right now Floss is only released for Windows, so you'd have to first even run. Oh no, they've got like a build for Mac. Okay, so we could try that. Let's grab that. Let's actually give it a go. Thanks, Chrome. I'm gonna go ahead and keep that Floss. Appreciate it. Oh, that's just it. Okay. So that's really funny. All right. So this is the fun workaround. Yes, I know it's not malware. Please run it. Does nothing. But now when I run it, now I can actually run it. But I think this is written in Python, which is just really slow. The Python interpreter actually running it probably for the first time. And I bet it caches. Is it faster? Nope. It's just always slow. Python is not the fastest. That's fine though, because it's a self-contained thing. But it does have the ability to run as an API. So I think there's two phases that I think I want to do this plugin in. The first one is, which I kind of want to I might do right now, is let's look at replacing this particular, actually, so let's grab this repo we can, let's see, so I can well, actually I should just fork it and then make my own copy so I can PR this a new plugin here if it works well. So let's go do that. Right. If I have to fork it, it'll be the real user. That's fine. Okay. All right. So there, this user is logged in. So now if I fork, yep. We're just gonna copy master. That's fine. That's a new change. Kill that terminal. All right, so now it's clone. You don't have to hang around, by the way, if you don't want to at this point. It's okay. All right, thanks. And now I have to two-factor auth on my phone or my watch. I hope that stream can hear that. I really hope you guys can hear that. There's some like heavy smash going on. They're like getting into it. All right, let's see here. Oh, I forgot to do this. Focus mode. Yeah, I don't want any alerts. Let's try this again. Yeah, there's a couple of secret projects going on right now. I can't spoil the fun on, so I want to make sure they don't show up on stream. All right. So let's see. Although I will give you a hint. One of them was teased a little bit if you were paying very close attention a little while ago. We'll see if anybody finds it. So this is, so here's Floss. All right, so here's the API. We can actually call it like as a Python library. But for the first version, I just want to actually run. So let's actually just move downloads Floss here. Oh, is there another? Oh, there's another sleeve. There is already a file that. Okay. Move downloads Floss. Actually, will you do me a favor and just check the audio levels in another room and like with a headphone or something? Just back to 35 YouTube and just see how it sounds. Just to see if the background's coming in. Everyone likes.
Yeah.
Which one? The Floss?
I don't know what I'm showing.
All right, I'm gonna have to go look at actually here. Yeah, I should go look at chat. This will be weird. Yeah, because I only have one. I was hoping to use the TV as a separate display. This is gonna be awkward. No, I don't want to recursively see myself. Oh, the just in general the stack string stuff. Yeah. So okay, so there's several different. So Floss is good, but I want to make Floss a little better because this is the thing that I'm that I want to do. Yeah, well, I want to a couple of these. One, I want to make Floss integrate a little better, and two, I think we could do something kind of like that would just work self-contained in Binja, which would be nice. Although I know Floss is pretty popular, so I'm sure it's also pretty good. So Floss bin. All right, so now I can just run it here. Now let's actually. Do we have samples in here? Icons. Sus. Samp. Okay, so there's no like samples or anything. Let's see. Do I have ls opt no back samples? Okay, so I have some random malware samples in this folder that I literally don't remember what they are and what these hashes are. So I'm going to try Floss on them and we'll see. So we'll see what they do. So the plugin here, the Binja one, tells you you're just going to run it over the binary. Floss bin over the binary, -j, and we're going to put this into what that noise was. This right here, and we'll see what that does. So we'll give that a go. Can't open sample, no such file. Oh, right, because I didn't give it the full path, did I? That might have been helpful. Opt no back samples. Yeah, I put everything. I have it like a don't back this folder up for like anywhere I have like large dumps of things that are mirrored. I thought that was the path, wasn't it? Yeah. Unrecognized arguments. Oh, greater than. Right. Output is JSON. Put it in this file. Scan this executable. All right. So we'll do that over a couple of these random malware samples, and we'll see what it produces. And then we're going to test out this Binja conversion script, because what I want to do is I want to let's see, like now I can look at chat. Wait, where'd it go? Did I delete it? I did kill it. All right, let's pause this. Can I make this? No, the other way around. I want only chat. Oh, here, pop out chat. Pop out chat. There we go. Okay, cool. Oh no. The worst part is this is like my data file system. Okay, so it's running. Floss is doing its thing. Are those deobfuscated strings or are those obfuscated strings? Well, let's just let it go. See how this works. So yeah, this will be. We're not hearing too much of the background in the audio. Yeah, that's cool. Okay, yeah, I was hoping. Uh-oh. Wait, why did we get a weird error again? Well, that was weird. Okay, the important part is, did it make this file? So, uh, okay, other than like, can't from open multi, Python 3 import multiprocessing. Got multiprocessing. So what failed here? It didn't like something about. I wonder. Oh, you know what? I bet the problem is I'm running it here, which can be. This can actually be bad. Let's actually do this. Move floss bin downloads. So the problem is if you like this binary, right, is actually just this entire Python interpreter and all the Python scripts all like bundled together. And so if I run it from here and I also have this floss here, maybe the namespace stuff is a little weird. So this is kind of a working JSON. If I just delete, did it actually make it a real JSON though? If I match this, I don't think it wrote. Oh no, maybe it did. Okay, let's try it. It's my Python 3-m JSON tool input O. Okay, so it's valid JSON, right? So this is my favorite little trick to like make sure something is valid JSON. Just pump it into the JSON.tool as a module, like on standard in, and it will actually validate it and parse it. So okay, so that is a working JSON file. Let's run this then over. Well, yeah, let's go to.
Jeez. Be true.
Stream floss. They definitely heard some of that. Yeah, did they say something?
No.
Oh, you can see the audio levels. Yeah, it's going to be almost impossible unless it was like a headset mic that we put like right here and turn the gain down really low. All right, so I'm going to move. Let's move this into samples or stream. All right, so let's do this. Let's do floss again. Opt no back. Samples. All right, this one -json out.
What are you even saying? Offer another judge?
All right, here.json. Okay, so there's binary number 2. I just want to generate a couple of these binaries just to make sure I've got some good samples. And then we'll see how. Oh, see this one. Okay, this is a much better sample. You can already see this one is finding actual real stack strings. It's also still freaking out in that weird way. So there's some bug that it doesn't like about this, but that's fine. Okay, that one actually is a much better one. So this is it's still going. That's so funny. Well, they do use multiprocessing, so I guess they're trying to speed up the Python by making it multi-threaded. So they all right, but this one here, other than this bogus stuff, which I'm just going to delete. Right. So now we should have, okay, so this one we should be able to run dev floss Florida COVID data. Floss, what was it? Flare floss. Scripts, is that where this lived? Yeah. Scripts, render, Python 3, render, binja, okay. All right. No module name floss. Okay, so we're gonna have to do this back from Flare floss. We should have a module name floss, Python 3. Import floss. And I can spell it right this time. Import floss. It did import. So do I need to set my Python path to include the current space, or just be lazy and maybe copy scripts, render binja here? Let's see if this actually finds it. They're so loud. Oh, my light ran out. No more face light. That's all right. I think we blocked the light behind me. Then I'm probably still visible enough. Originally, we thought we needed more like front light for that. All right, so if I run the import script, what are you trying to do? What are you trying to do?
I'm trying to see if it'll like do anything to the camera.
Why would it's off? Why would you do the camera?
streaming?
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. I'm still streaming. I'm working on my plugin. Yeah.
Plugins.
I'm working on converting the Floss, that Flare team plugin that looks for stacked strings and obfuscated strings and like decrypts them all, has a mode where it generates a JSON file for like the locations of all of them.
This last night. The very
And right now, like you run the script,
very clever
you
solution.
create a JSON file, you parse the JSON file with the other script, that generates the Binja script, and then you run that script. So like I'm running that now. I just want to do that workflow, and then I want to rewrite it and make it so that like you can just in Binja import Floss script, import JSON, and just like do that directly.
Short range.
I don't think it's picking. No. I mean, they're picking up some of the stream, but like or the screaming or whatever over there, but ish. Yeah, no, I don't think anything that wasn't came through on stream. So, all right, so let's try it again now. Python scripts runner sample stream. No, is it 2.2? Yeah. Okay. Right. So of course there's going to be some dependencies that we don't have. So Python 3-m pip install pydantic. Actually, hold on. Is there requirements? What's that? Pip. Pip.
It's no.
How do you pronounce pip?
PIP.
You say PIP?
Yes.
So my daughter knows Python, knows some Python, and she's telling me it's pronounced PIP. She got a 5 in her AP exam, so she must know Python.
I must know more than you.
Clearly, you know more than me. I've never gotten a 5 on that AP exam because it didn't exist when I was in college or high school. Okay, I'm just gonna. I don't see. There's no requirements.txt. Okay, so note to self. I'm trying to think if I can bring up notes without actually. Here, come off my desktop for a second, because I want to make sure I can bring up my like note taking app without. Yeah, see that would. I mean, it wouldn't have mattered, but all right. Go ahead and go back to desktop. Okay, so notes from stream. Submit PR to Floss for requirements.txt. Okay, so give them a requirements.txt. In the meantime, we're gonna do it the lazy way and just keep running it until. Yes. I have to. It's a Floss dependency. Hey, look, we're done. Okay. So this is what it does. So this thing generates some standalone Binja Python. Stack variable comments are not a thing, so just at the top of the function and at the location where it's used as an argument. All right, so from my perspective, it's odd that they have this model where it does this. I'm just going to make a version that, all right, so let's do this. Let's start with this as the shell. So let's copy render script into scripts as, it's not going to be render, it's just Binja imports. Actually, and first we're going to do cd scripts. We're going to call it Binja, yeah, from here we'll call it Binja import. And vector 35 sample plugin star here. And we're going to copy render Binja import script and init. Right. We're going to nuke the license because we're going to leave it under their repos license. And this is the import Floss JSON to binary Binja. Oh, actually, yeah, I should. Floss import. Import Floss JSON into binary Binja. So I should also probably, well, yeah, I can just update it on the fly anyways. And we're going to get rid of the longer description for now. And we'll leave this out. It's going to have that one. All right, so import Floss. So this is a, call it helper, I guess, core UI. It's Yeah, we actually know we need like a malware category. That'd be nice. All right. Wrong readme. Tab edits. Scripts. Ninja import. Readme. Long description. We're literally going to remove. Actually, what's the floss repos license? Let's match that. Apache 2. Okay. I don't remember the standards. So Apache 2.0. And so we're just going to leave it under their license. I think I need to. So temp Apache. Replace new lines with new line. I mean, that'll do. Is there a quote? There are quotes. Are there single quotes? Yes. Let's escape all the single quotes. Okay, there's only one single quote, so I should be able to just take that and put it here. Make that a single quote. We can have single quotes in JSON, right? I think we can. That syntax highlighting tells me we cannot. Okay, so let's find the single quote. Let's get rid of that. Let's change that to a double quote. And now we need to find the double quotes to escape those. Alright, so I'm trying to get myself, that's a lot of quoted things. I'm trying to get myself in the habit of like when I stream, although it's weirder not seeing the chat. I feel like I need to bring the chat up again, but not feeling rushed. Because usually it feels for me like if there's dead tasks, it's really lame and no one will watch. And that may still be true. I don't know how many people are actually still watching, but I like Jody's flashing me the numbers. But I'm gonna try to just get into the habit of streaming and doing this. I should have done this with the regex. Hold up, we're gonna fix this the right way. Okay, so we're gonna from here. Okay, so now we can change quotes to escape quotes. Okay, that's better. It depends. All right, so it's here, there. Except we actually don't need a comma. All right, so got a license. Array of hidden dependencies. Oh, do we have, actually this is all not how we do anyways. We use requirements to text. Oh, Pydantic was the only one we needed. So we'll probably have, are you laughing at the name Pydantic? It's a good name. Alright, so let's see. Dependencies, there's none. Version 1, and sure, we're just gonna leave this the same, it doesn't really matter. So let's make sure. No, I don't. We would have it. Okay. So actually, it's requirements. No, requirements.text. Pydantic. Vector of 35 snippets requirements.text. There's lowercase, and we can specify a particular version. So Python 30 import Pydantic help. Recently saw somebody get burned by. So this is 191 version of Pydantic. So let's just specify that equals 1. Let's see requirements.text. Pin version. All right. Does not have to specify, but I want it to. Okay, it is double equal. That's what I want to double check. Double equal 191. So now we get the exact same version of Pydantic. All right, so now let's look at ArrayNet. Okay, so we're gonna switch this up. It's weird that it says copyright ambient, all rights reserved, but then the whole repo is under a different license. That's a little weird, but whatever. We'll leave that alone for now. So all this, yeah, this documentation won't work. All we really needed to do, oh, here it is, copyright licensed under. There we go. That's fine. We're gonna say. To act as a direct import. Okay, so yeah, I'm gonna rip out logger stuff. Yeah, the real problem here is this already needs this results plugin. It doesn't parse it kind of standalone. That's why we had to have it in. So what we actually need to do now is from floss here. Oh no, ls. Okay, so it's somebody. If I want to import from a directory up 2 directories, can I put like 3 dots? From dot dot dot. If I want to go up 2. Dot dot slash dot dot. Yeah. Import. Append. Is that actually better? All right. Okay. So dot path dot append. Sysdop, do I need to actually compute current working directory? Sysdop.append. I don't know if that's the way that we're going to do it. And then from .floss.results imports. We can try this. We can see. I'm not sure that works right. But all right. So this render script, basically, we want to instead. Oh, you know what? Good for them. They use like type annotations. I'm still not in the habit of doing that. I need to get better at that. Basically, all we want to do is instead of emitting something, so as main commands print. Do we have a question? Slash dot. Hold on. Let's look at it. Oh, I can show it. Sorry, Robert, you got modded. Fatboy Slim. Well, that's why they got modded. That's fine. Yay. Yeah. The funny thing is, well, first of all, thank you. I'm glad you like the vibes. Yeah, I actually didn't know Floss until just a couple days ago when I saw there was a new release and I was poking around, and then I saw this in the script folder. I saw that they already had a Binja importer, and I thought, oh, that's nice. And then I read it and I saw, oh, it generates a script which you then run that thing in Binja. I was like, that sounds tedious. Let's just run it directly. So let's carry on here. So we don't need really any of the argparse stuff, because really we're just going to what we're going to do is in Binja you can do what's help interaction. Let's see, Python reference. So under interaction, there's a way just to be like, please give me a file prompt. File, open file. Yeah, you want to open the file. So open file name field. No, not fields. There's another one. That's if it's a form. There's another way. There's a way to just, what's the API? Open file. Interaction, open file name field, prompts. There's another way. I'm not seeing it here. It's one of these. Address field. So yeah, you can do it with a form, but like there's a way to like not even require a form. Just literally just ask for a single file name directly. So forms let you build like more complicated ones. I think there's a way to just do it. Let me see here. Address field, directory field. I'm trying to prompt for a file to open in the Python interaction API, not using a form. Get open file name. That's what it is. Where is it? Oh, it's under interaction handler. That's it. Thank you. Yep. That's it. Okay, prompt and extension. Exactly. That's exactly what we want. Okay, so we're assuming this plugin is going to be triggered by, we're going to register this as just like a regular Vue plugin. So we're going to do JSON file is equal to get, actually, hold on. From binary ninja import star, let's be lazy. Interaction.get open file name inputs loss JSON file. Extension is out, and you know what I want to say. This extension, I don't remember if you have to put the dot in or not. Let's find out. That's easy enough to do. Let's actually just do this real quick. And also want to make sure I don't remember what the... right, so stream... Yeah, so that .json is not showing up with this one. So I think I actually have to do either an array or of them, or I have to do a single one. So it's still not there, so I think it's... No, it's not a list. So it's not .json? Star.json, thank you. We have docs on one of the APIs for that. I don't remember which one. Yeah, I know it's the Qt thing, but like one of these, actually I think it's in this, it's got to be in this file. One of the APIs here specifically gives examples because I can never remember how to do it. So I think one of these, I think there's an example. Oh, there it is. Yes. Oh, okay. Wait, get open file name input. Was I on the wrong API before? Yeah, I must have been on like a different one. Anyway, so yes, this example does have, it's this syntax here, which is super janky, but it's Qt syntax. And that's why, so you can let people specify and select like multiple types if you want. But in this case, we only want to be able to open JSON files. So there's my JSON. And that should give me just the file path, full file path of my JSON file. So there we go. So this is my JSON file. And I'm going to nuke all of the logger. And actually, instead of, honestly, I could probably change this to just eval. That might actually just work that easily. Let's see. So this is going to be result document. Oh, JF. So where's result? Okay, result document comes from floss results. All right, this seems unlikely to work. So let's try it. If I and I have a bunch of link dev flare floss scripts ninja imports. We're gonna link this as floss imports. So that the problem with this though is that relative import path is I think not gonna work. I have to change that. It will work if this was an actual Ninja plugin because the actual plugins get downloaded into like the repositories section here. And so like if they get put here, do I have like Lighthouse installed? Let me do that one because so if I install like Lighthouse, for example, Lighthouse is a much bigger plugin than just will run on Ninja. And so, actually, I think Ripper might even be likewise in the subfolder. All right. Now they're just trying to get on stream. So this one, yeah, there's a plugin subfolder, and in that there's a Lighthouse. And in that there's, no, which one is it? Anyways, somewhere in one of these subfolders, the Binja stub. That's the Binja folder. And so this one can relatively access, in fact, you'll even see it, I think, here. It doesn't import, oh, yeah, this is actually the code that I basically want. Yeah, actually, I'm just going to steal that. and I wrote that code, so I'm allowed to steal it. Yes, good artist copy, great artist steal, and even better when you get to steal from yourself. I don't know this. Yeah, this is it, right? VI init. Okay, so under our syspath append and floss. Okay, we're gonna put this instead. So this is the floss path. Is basically import OS. We're going to join our current path, and we're in scripts, so we go up to, no, we're in a subfolder, so we got 2 folders. I think we just do that. Syspath appends, floss path. And now we should, okay, so this should actually work more reliably, whether it's done via the plugin submodule, and even using our little janky thing here where I've symlinked it. I think real path will work, because it's going to ignore the symlink. We'll see. We'll try it. So there's floss results. All right, let's finish removing logging. Logging is done. Arg parse, I don't need. All right, so the only thing is this print stuff. Hold on, the print thing. Oh, main commence. Yeah. Yeah, all right. Let's just kind of try this. So this might actually just work. I doubt it. There'll be a bug, but this will make it easier. If this works, I should be able to go into Binary Ninja. I can restart because I've installed that plugin. And now if I open this opt no back samples, and I open that 22D. So this is the piece of malware, right, that had those stack strings. And now I didn't actually, the one last thing I need to do. Binary Ninja dot, oh, and also, let's see here. No, I don't need to do Binary Ninja because I did from Binary Ninja import star, so I just need plugin.register, no, plugin commands. Register, yeah, register. And what is the name, description, and action? So the name is floss import description import JSON generated by floss, and the action is just main. I just want to call main. Oh, and main also needs to take the binary view. Which actually, that's a good point. So this script then that we generate, and we're going to eval, does it just access the BB? Let's see. Yeah, so it's just going to literally try to access BB here. So the question, I think, as long as this eval runs in the context of this function, then the binary view that's passed in here, by the callback, should just run it. This may or may not work. This is kind of jank. Let's try it. All right. Oh, Andrew, you missed the Portillos. Those are amazing sandwiches. Yep. All right, so we've done that. Now, let's see. Floss. Hold on, we got some errors here. Oh, probably on my scripts here. Let's see here. No module name. Okay, no module named because floss-import. Oh, that's unfortunate. So it's not. From floss results. Oh, it's okay. So it is that import. Module not found. No module name. Floss-import. Floss-import. Oh, floss-import is. Floss-import was the folder name that I made in the plugin folder. So let's do this because I want to see. Added path. You should be learning your Python like watching this, right? You're not totally asleep. So we're gonna add the path, and let's see. Does it? No, it's not gonna. Okay, so yeah. So honestly, imports are like the most annoying part of this whole process. No module named floss import dot floss. Oh, is it because? Oh no, I don't need the dot. because I've added the path. Okay, so let's try that. Okay, so floss. Now I have to open up any binary view. We'll open this one up. Floss import. Okay. And now I can post it at stream. Oh, wait, hold on. What did I do here? I broke the ext. Oh, that's funny. I looked at exactly the documentation to fix this, and then I didn't do it. JSON files, startup JSON. All right, so open the malware. Loss imports. Actually, you know what I should do? I should just move those files. Move stream star.json opt no back samples. Okay, so let's try that. Now, if I open the binary and I floss import, I can run. So I've opened 22 and I'm going to run the 22 JSON. Invalid syntax. Okay, what's the other mechanism instead of eval that is friendly with stuff like imports? No, there's another way. Well, hold on. Let me just fix it a different way. Let's try this. So the other way we can do this is this already imported base64. So I don't need import base64. Do I need import binary ninja as bn? I do, but not really. So let's just do this. Oh, it actually never gets used. So let's do this. Before we eval, let's print result. Script equals eval script print. So let's actually print the result of this first. Okay, so let's just look at what we're going to get back. But I think we can just remove the import, because we don't need this import. Actually, I didn't even notice. You can tell it's somebody who's an IDA descriptor when they've got EA on the address there. We're going to remove this because we're now running it in the context of this script, which already has base64. So, and worst, like honestly, I'm using eval just to be lazy, right? Because also, yeah, because the other option is I literally just extract these functions and the script content, and every time I do main commands.append here to do one of these things, I instead just directly call that with the parameters. All right, so that's the other way to do it. I'm just kind of trying to do the minimum amount of work necessary. So we'll see if this does it. Do you have a question?
Peter,
What's that?
Peter, command.
How is the experience using binary ninja? I mean, so Peter, I'm not going to be the best person to ask that because I'm one of the developers. So of course I'm very biased. But I think it's amazing. Yeah, it's the best experience. So I would say that it has a really good API. And so doing things like in the API, in fact, even if you were to look, if I finish rewriting the script and I pull out the things that were done here and I turn them all into kind of native instructions, and then we were to compare that to the same things in Keter and IDA, usually the Binja scripting ends up looking better. So even some people who don't necessarily use Binary Ninja all the time, I think generally we have a good reputation from our API is one thing. And then the other big thing is that we've got, although you notice this function is completely not great right now. There's some stack misalignment here, so we're losing all the parameters here. But our intermediate languages are the other kind of key design. So like if I pull up like a simpler thing and we just look at something basic, I'm in my decompilation now, or the high level IL, but I can also split this view here, and I can look at disassembly. We can look at low level IL, or we can look at medium level IL. We can look at all these different kind of ILs. And so in high level IL, it's just a print, and I can even turn it into like a C, and it looks just like C source code essentially. It's a minor kind of syntax change. but like you'll notice the assembly is just what you're expecting assembly, and then the low level IL is really close to assembly. It's not much different. And then of course we've got this middle layer of medium level IL, and now it actually starts to look a lot like, in fact in this case it's pretty much identical. Other than you'll see some of these lines are grayed out now. That's Spider Ninja saying, hey, these are not actually used, they're just copies that you can kind of ignore. In fact, arguably even that should apply to these variable sets too. So like it's kind of doing more dead code elimination. It optimizes, does control flow stuff like switch statements and for loops and while loops and all that kind of happens between here and here. But like this tiered kind of aspect of it is one of the other unique things about Binary Ninja. And yes, there are other people who think it's also great. Thanks, Valgrind. No worries, Dank. Might be me going a little later. We'll see. Everyone's like eating around me. I think they're about ready to eat. So I'm getting looks that it's time to shut down. So we'll see. But I think we can get this script, if not all the way working, mostly working first. So let me get back to that. Just to recap, if you joined late, what we're doing in the stream is there is the Flare Floss plugin, which is a useful stack string deobfuscation plugin. Lets you run this utility. It scans binaries and pulls out stack strings. Actually, one of my long-term goals, honestly, is to kind of look at the implementation of how they're actually doing it, and then really just recreate that natively in Binary Ninja. Because the current like standalone executable, it's nice that it has no dependencies, but it's really slow because it's just like Python, and I think it could be much quicker if I implemented those as Binary Ninja APIs. So that's kind of another like longer-term goal. But in the meantime, let me just see if that did it. So that change there was to remove the import from within the eval script. I think you can eval, actually, let's just try something real quick. Let's do scripts is equal to print 1, print 2. I can do like multi-line evals, right? So eval script should print twice. Invalid syntax. Print 2. Oh, does it require semicolons in between each one? Yeah, so multi-line eval multi-line eval is not going to work. Okay, so that means this approach is not actually going to work, and I'm going to have to actually change it up a little bit more, which I'm probably not going to do on this stream. I'll probably pick that up and finish another stream, but just to kind of like set the outline. Right, again, the whole point of this is to not just generate a blob of text that we're then going to run through another interpreter, just because I think it makes the workflow kind of awkward. Like you have to run this, you run this, then you load this file into Binary Ninja, and then you run it separately. It's a lot simpler, I think, to just run this once and then have the plugin say, point me to the file, and then it does it directly. So the script already knows how to speak to Binary Ninja APIs. We see that because it's got this append comment function that it gets made. And the append comment function is just here, which is just the address and the string that you want to add. And presumably it's just going to like, is there a comment there? Add it with a new line. If there's not, just add it straight there, right? Like that's pretty straightforward. And then same thing for a variable. It's gonna append it that way. So these are two little helper functions. Really what we want to do is we just want to pull these out and use these directly, essentially, right? So these two APIs are just going to live like right here. Except we're going to actually modify this to take a binary view as well. And a binary view as well. And then what we're going to do is, so because inside of main, when we're actually parsing this stuff, or inside of render scripts, actually we would also pass in a binary view. Say I really need a binary view here. Add my type ins. So inside the render binja scripts, pass that argument. Where's my main? Render binja scripts. And so again, that's going to pass this binary view in. So whatever like binary we're actually looking at, which lets us get a lot of those APIs, we can just kind of do that there. So we won't even need to print an eval and run it. The new version is just going to render the binja script, pass in the binary view, pass in the results that we parsed. And so this will be what this function looks like here. But yeah, so we would not have to actually write these functions here. We're going to run them directly. Annotating, that's interesting. Annotating % strings from floss for some s. Oh, and then there's a format for it here. Okay. Oh, it's not even using the new format. All right. So right. All right. So, and then it's going to add each command one at a time in the line, right? Well, we're not even going to like return this at all. We're not going to generate this. All we're going to do is we would actually make this just a log of these particular APIs. And so everything here where we call main commands append, main commands dot append. All we're going to do is actually just like run that command, right? We're going to like literally just run the command directly. And we're not going to escape this stuff. Oh, wow. That's so dirty. Stack string at virtual address. All right. So this is here. The address and that 0x, that's %x, and this is %s. So directly there. Okay. Right. So that's essentially all we're going to do is just turn this text generation into like just call that function directly. So add comment. The first parameter is the address, and the string is floss colon 64. That doesn't make sense. Hold on. DS address is the first one, and then B64. All right. So add comments. Oh, and we need to pass the binary view, right? That was what it was. B64. It's not defined. All right. So there we go. So that's actually, yeah. All right. I'll try it real quick. There's only a couple more commands. You have a question? Oh, yeah. All right. I'm just back to my questions. It's a good question, Robert. So yeah, you notice I'm not using snippets here. I'm just using like a separate Vim. I really should be using VS Code. I've got my new Vim configured pretty nicely, but it could be better. Like VS Code is a better experience. So for context, if you're not aware of it, this is snippets, and the snippet editor is a little. It's just like a little way to like write little scripts that you run in Binary Ninja. And the nice thing about it is there's a bunch of convenience things like here. Here is the like wherever you're at in the current binary. So I can say where is here or hex here, right? Take the integer, show me the hex, like that's where I'm currently at. But not only that, but old equals here. I can navigate away, and then I can do here equals old. And actually, you can set that value to move back. So it just lets you interact. There's current function, there's current low-level AL, there's BV. These are things that like the script is interacting with whatever I have open or whatever I have selected or whatever function I'm in. And you don't get those if you're writing a full plugin. Like when I'm doing this full plugin, I have to register and say like call my API, and then you're going to pass it an argument, and then I have to do, if I want to know what thing you've clicked in, I have to like UI plugin. It's a little more work. Things in the scripting console here get this kind of stuff for free. Snippets also gets that kind of stuff for free. So Snippets has a little, it's kind of a little bit like an IDE. There actually is a little bit of a tab completion. There is a little bit of syntax highlighting and line numbers, but it's pretty janky. It's very much just kind of like thrown together. But it's a lot easier just to throw something in here, and then you can even bind shortcuts. And then you can trigger that snippet just by like hitting a hotkey. So it's useful in that regard. All that to say, no, I don't think the long term we're going to try to make snippets too IDE-like. Like I want to make it a little bit better, nicer, but like VS Code is always going to be a better IDE. So I think, instead we would work on connecting your VS Code with your script plugin. And there is, speaking of that, there is already a way to connect for like debugging purposes, right? If you've written a VS Code Python plugin, you can actually connect your current scripting console and like the API to like run that script using this. And there's a better description here to like how to do that, and that lets you actually even use the Python debugging for Python debugging to do that.
Don't you need commercial license or something like that?
It's a good question. But you don't actually need a full commercial license to do that. You can use VS Code, and there's a couple ways that you can do that. One is you can. So first of all, like even if you don't have, so there's a script that lets you. So this is what you need a commercial license for, right? I can import binary ninja, and I can do binary view is equal to binary ninja open view NLS or whatever file it is, right? So that's why I need to get rid of that error message in Ripper that I mentioned earlier. You can see it there. Anyway, so I've got it here. That's what commercial does. But you, even without commercial, you can still do things like help binary ninja.interaction.get open file name input. This will still work. The type hints will still work even if you don't have a commercial license, which means your IDE can still do that, and you can do that either by pointing at your IDE's paths to the Binary Ninja like plugin module, or if you run the let's see, resources, scripts, scripts install API, right? So if you run with whatever version of Python you want to add these annotations to, and you run that script, it's inside of just the script folder. On Mac, it's inside of resources, but normally it's just wherever Binary Ninja is installed. You run that Python file, and it creates PTH files, which basically just say like, here's where these modules are installed, and so that's what lets me do import Binary Ninja, even though it's pointing to Python files that exist in this app bundle, right, on Mac or wherever you've installed it, Windows or Linux. And again, that works. You would run that script. You can't actually do the thing I just showed here if you don't have a commercial license, but you could still access all the type hints and type information, so your hinting still works. Yeah, so short explanation, run that script. VS Code, whatever other IDE you want to use will work. JetBrains, any of that stuff, those will work with your script. So, all right, I'm getting hungry too now, smelling all the food over there everyone's doing. So let me see if I can really fast fix this up. Oh, wow, Jody thinks Binja is very good and cool. Jody is right next to me. She is our producer of this live stream. All right, so this is just a print. So I'm gonna ignore it, actually, and just make. In fact, actually, if I want to make a print, I would rather have it do it there. So we're gonna do ds.decoded at and plus b4. And we also need the binary view passed in, right? We've changed. Remember, we've changed the pin comment to take a binary view. There's just a print. We're gonna get rid of that. And here's another one. Make mints appends. So instead, just directly call that. We're gonna call it on ss.function. And actually, this one also needs the binary in plus x string plus b64. All right. So that should. Yeah, this whole thing, like this string replacement stuff's a little janky. I need to like rewrite this to make the whole thing look cleaner, I think. But we're gonna get rid of this one, and we're gonna get rid of this. We don't need any of that basically. Not have to return anything because we are just going to run these APIs. Okay. Oh, I do need to take my type hints to none. We are not going to return anything. Okay. Oh, thank you, username. That's, that plugin was like a really, yes, high five, ultimate stream team. The Unpack Me plugin was like a really kind of simple proof of concept plugin, but definitely file some issues on that because I'm down to like add things. I just don't use it all that much, but would love to hear y'all's opinions. All right, so that is there is little chance this runs, but it's pretty close, and I think I'm going to close down the stream here soon anyways because it's time to eat and everyone's tired of me talking. Everyone in this house anyway. So floss import, it's going to open my JSON. All right, we did get an error, integer %x. Oh, this is another print thing that I could probably just remove. Where's my VI init? Scripts, binge import, VI init, prints. It was this one here. I mean, I could just fix it. %s at %x, which was the thing. And integer require %x, B64. B64 is, oh, because it's got to get like evals inline, and that gets even. You know what I actually want to do? Why are we encode it and then decode it? Oh, this is complicated. All right, I'm gonna have to spend some more time later fixing this because this like the nesting of real code and then escape code that's evaled as it's like several orders deep is a little bit confusing to me now. So I think I just don't want to do this at all. I just want to do ds.string. Oh, that's way better. Hold on, append comment. ds.string. Yeah, I don't want B64 at all. Now that I look at this. Yeah, that's way better. We don't even have to do that. We would just put the string straight in. ds or ss dot string. We don't need B64 at all. All right. I promise. Last try. If it doesn't work, we're done. And yeah, definitely everybody else, if you haven't already joined the Slack and you're interested in Binary Ninja, it's great if you've got questions. It's great if you want to learn about just reverse engineering in general. And especially if you've got Binary Ninja questions, it's a good community. All right, so let's try to run our script. All right, well, I've got some bug. Not surprised. Like I said, this was originally like half evaled, or most of it was all evaled. So we'll take a look at this later. I'm going to try to stream a little bit more regularly and do some of this stuff as well. So anyway, thanks everybody for hanging out on stream. This was kind of like this last minute crazy one here at our like, beach house offsite, but I had skipped one when I was on vacation a couple weeks ago, and so I really didn't want to go another 2 weeks without seeing everybody. So thanks for joining us. We'll go back to face cam and we'll wave goodbye. Does everybody want to say goodbye to the stream? Bye, stream. Here you go. You pass.
Bye, stream.
Yeah, bye. We got the down. All right, okay, hold on. I got to put you on camera too. Can I show the?
Oh.
Is everyone okay if I show them on camera?
Yeah.
All right, here it is. Everyone wave bye.
Awkwardly silent.
Awkwardly silent. Byes. All right. See you, everybody. We'll catch you later.